Hi, I'm Alister Benn and you're watching Expressive Photography. If you're anything like me, you will have been out on photography trips and come back feeling disappointed. You have invested time and energy and a lot of money in some cases to travel to exotic places or interesting places, full of expectation, thinking that you're going to make fantastic photographs. And somehow, if that doesn't materialize or you're not happy with the photos that you're taking, somehow the whole experience becomes worthless or a waste of time. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about the real purpose of photography, which is it's more than just a photograph. Before we get into that, I'd like to give a quick shout out to my other YouTube channel now. I started this a couple of weeks ago and it's called the Zen Haggis. And basically it's an excuse for me to travel around the Scottish countryside wearing a kilt and generally being out enjoying myself. But more importantly than that, it's an exploration for me into the other things that I'm interested in, which is personal development. I've talked an awful lot on this channel about creativity, and it's got to the point where I want to talk more about personal development because I truly believe that that has the most profound impact on our creativity. So I've started the Zen Haggis to get a bunch of sort of philosophical and maybe just feel-good type stuff over on the Zen Haggis. So please click on the link below and head over and subscribe to there, and hopefully you're going to enjoy that content as much as you enjoy the expressive photography stuff. Now, like I said, in today's video, I want to talk about photography being more than just a photograph. And to do this, I'm going to go back to one evening on Iceland when I was there just a couple of months ago now with Thomas Heaton, Adam Gibbs and Thor, who runs Thor Photography and was our guide and good friend. Now, on this particular evening, we trekked quite a long way. It was near the end of our trip. We'd been camping out. We'd been getting not a huge amount of sleep because of the midnight sun, and basically it doesn't really get dark. And I was carrying two camera systems. I was carrying my Hasselblad 501 cm with a couple of lenses and light meter, and then also my full 35mm digital SLR kit, including an 80-400 and a 24-70. So all in all, it was quite a heavy pack, and obviously trekking in, it was, I can't remember exactly how far it was, like 8 kilometers or something like that, with some quite steep climbing as well. But the viewpoint that we got to, Thor and I, and if you've watched some of the other videos, you will know that Adam and Tom ended up on another mountain with great navigational skills. So I want to look at some of these photographs and we'll just dive straight into Lightroom here. Now, this is the selection of photographs that I'm going to talk about. And the first one is actually a slide. This was taken on Ektar 120, and you can see the incredible detail that it's captured. The dynamic range for film is really quite incredible. This is a very high dynamic range scene. And this was the viewpoint looking down with these beautiful lochs on either side and this peninsula of mountains and yeah, you know, the beautiful colors. Now, this is before the color really kicked off. And it didn't really kick off in that main direction. Everything else is off to the one side. But if I measured my entire day on this photograph, then it would almost feel to trivialize that experience for me. I was with a very good friend of mine. I was physical. We were getting lots of exercise. The whole landscape was incredible. I remember coming across a pair of northern loons, or great northern divers, as we call them over here in Europe, on the loch. Very tame, very close. There was other birds. There's a whole experience going on, and being alive seems to me a really good thing to celebrate. And this is some of the stuff I'm talking about now over on the Zen Haggis, is that we don't always appreciate how lucky we are. We're focusing on a product. We're focusing on the negatives. the clouds didn't kick off colourful above the mountains. So what? You know, you can't expect to score every single time. And I think if we go in with these expectations, all we're doing is lining ourselves up for failure. It's our expectations. Nature has no obligation to deliver whatsoever. There was many things I was appreciating. Now, I very much like this slide photograph. I think it's a beautiful technical thing, and I really enjoyed using the Hasselblad and having to work out the exposure and waiting 2 or 3 weeks until I saw the final photograph. And I've talked about this in some of my other videos. But one of the reasons I will never give up my 35mm system is if you look down the loch shore here at this little point, that captivated me. You know, that relationship of graphics. And I took this photograph with my 80-400, and I believe this is at 400mm, so it's zoomed right in, shot as a square. And this is a long exposure, which has abstracted the water surface. The wind blows the water around these shorelines, and you get this ghosty interaction. So this photograph is more of an embodiment of the type of engagement that I go for these days. I don't tend to shoot too many big scenes because I get so fascinated with these little details. And the same thing applies, though, that it's very satisfying. Yes, you know, there's a skill, there's a craft, there's the physicality of getting there, there's making something work out of a chaotic landscape. You know, there's all sorts of things that you can measure and kind of make to be bigger than they actually are, which is, I'm alive, I was in a beautiful place, engaging with it. Each of these photographs is more than just a photograph. It's a moment in time where I noticed, surrendered to that noticing, pointed my camera at it, and went through the process of eliminating everything that wasn't the thing that I wanted to photograph. And that's a really powerful relationship that we have with the landscape, and it's unique to each of us because all of our opinions are valid. All of our, I like that, but I'm not so keen on that. Now, they are little judgments, and I think I'm going to do a video in a few weeks' time where we talk about judgment again, because it can be a very good ally, but equally it can be our worst enemy. So we'll talk about judgment, I think, a little bit later on. Now, all that aside, I do like this photograph, and it's very pleasing to me. So it's more than just a photograph, but it's still a photograph that I really like. Now, the light did start to kick off, and you can see as there was a big heavy cloud bank on top of this, and we ended up with some quite soft light underneath these clouds. Now, I'm in the middle, in fact, I'm more than in the middle. I'm near the end of writing my latest ebook, which is The Colour of Meaning, and I do hope it's going to be out in a couple of weeks' time, maybe even less than that. I'm just on the final stretches just now. And it's a direct follow-on from my Luminosity and Contrast ebook. If we look at this photograph, luminosity, the brightness of the light under the clouds, is joyful, hopeful, engaging, exciting, energetic. The cooler water of the loch is still brighter than the rocks and the landscape itself, but it's less luminous than the sky, and it's a cooler colour, and it has a different feeling. And this is what The Colour of Meaning is going to be about, is it's extending on the Luminosity and Contrast book that I wrote in 2018. So thank you very, very much for everyone who's bought that. And if you haven't done so, please do, because I still consider it to be an incredible foundation course for everything I'm going to be teaching, both on this Expressive Photography channel and future ebooks and videos. So the colour of this image has a definite feel to it, and it feels quite brooding. There's a kind of heavy warmth to it. It's not what you would call joyful particularly, bits of it are, but there's a very heavy feeling to it. The clouds had a heaviness to them. Now, whether that reflects to a heaviness of heart, maybe some melancholy that it was the end of the trip, maybe it's just the way I was feeling when I was processing this. But the photograph in its own right can tell many of my stories, how I feel about it. And we can't divorce ourselves from our images. We can't create them almost in an emotional vacuum. They are articulations of our feelings, emotions, perceptions, and perspectives. So this is very much more than just a photograph. It's something to you when you look at it, but equally it's something quite different to me when I look at it. Now, in the next photograph, as the light really just started to punch through the top of the frame here, we've ended up with a very much more energetic and joyful photograph, even though I've left the shadows quite blue. If light's not shining on something, if something is in shadow and the only light that is getting is reflected light off heavy clouds, the shadows will be blue. So there's a very emotional relationship with shadow tones and the shadow colors. But again, this photograph is a bit tighter than the previous one, and whilst it contains an awful lot more light and energy, it's lost something of that moody broodingness of the wider shot. Now, the last two photographs they're things that you can really only do with a long lens. They're tiny little details that I've isolated out of the landscape. And I think they're good representations of pure, unadulterated, shameless engagement with the landscape. And it's just, this is the joyful child in me. The pinkiness of that triangle with the greenish vegetation on top of it, I just found really fascinating. It was just such an incongruous thing to be out there in the middle of all this kind of barren desolation. As many of you will know, the highlands of Iceland are quite barren. It's a desert, really. This is a desert landscape, even though they get quite a lot of rain and precipitation, snow in particular in the winter. It's a desert. It's a wet desert in many ways. Very little grows up there. So this concept that when we're out in the landscape, we have to be capturing big wide vistas or any labeling of what we have to be doing in the field, I can guarantee that when I'm out there in the landscape, the only thing I'm doing out there in the landscape is being. I'm being alive, I'm breathing, I'm being a good version of myself, I think. And this is very much what I cover in the Zen Haggis. So I really like this. It's got this very delicate pinky blue tones and the sort of geometry of that pointy peak and the softness of that kind of whale-back foreground. My imagination, there is something whale-like about that foreground, which I find quite curious. And the last one's a little bit odd as well. It's another one of those kind of isolated little hills. It's obviously volcanic in nature. It was obviously formed during an eruption, but the delicate pink light off on the right-hand side, this is a very soft photograph. It's rounded, it's curvy. There's nothing terribly dramatic about it, but there's a delicacy to it that I noticed. And the way we get the play between the pyramid and the pinky light and then the coolness round about it, it feels gentle to me. Now, as a photograph, it doesn't really bother me if people like it or not. It matters that I like it. It matters that it represents a moment when I was really engaged with the landscape and I enjoyed this time. Thor was off doing his own thing. The panoramic vista of the whole place was incredible. You can see from this big expansive panel of this area that we were in, there was beautiful things in every single direction. but you can't see in 360 degrees all at the same time. We have to engage with the landscape in slices. And I think this is what photography can do for us, is help us to isolate the things in the landscape that's just a yes, 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 and have that passion to it. Videos like this, I'm sure I could grow my channel an awful lot quicker if I did 10 top tips to master wide angle photography, but I'm just not interested in doing it, because I do believe that photography is more than just making photographs. The photographs, unless you're making all of your income from a landscape photographer, and there's not many of us that do, unless you're doing that, your images have very little value in real terms, but they mean everything to us. Every single one of them is a little snapshot in time that we noticed, we engaged, and we weren't thinking about all the other crap that's going on in the world. You know, we were just there in the landscape, engaging with it. And those moments are valuable to us. In this chaotic, crazy world of COVID and politics and famine and war, these moments of engagement are the most meaningful things in our life. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it's useful to you. If you find it, please click on the subscribe button down below and give us a thumbs up. Dive into the comments. As always, they're really appreciated. If you've got a moment, please go down to the information section below and click on one of those links. Either go to the Zen Haggis and check out our stuff over there, or buy one of our ebooks and videos, or of course, if you need any case filters, there's an affiliate link down at the bottom which helps us out to basically allow us to do this. So thanks very much for watching. On Sunday we've got 2 videos coming. One is going to be autumn colours in my beloved hometown of home country of Scotland, and the other will be over on Zen Haggis, where I'm discussing the concept of killing time, something we do an awful lot of, and hopefully that video will be helpful too. Thanks very much everyone, have a great week, and I wish you well wherever you are. Thanks, bye.